And yes, why'd you
Hi,
look at me
Kuba.
like that from
What's
the
up?
start?
I don't
Welcome
know.
to my channel. So I'm going to interview Ms.FitVegan. I call her Jeanette because she's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for several years since
Yes,
the
Kuba
Woodstock
can
Fruit
call me
Festival.
Jeanette, but everyone else, Misfit Vegan. Yes.
Ms.FitVegan. So Ms.FitVegan is here to share a little bit of your story and to inspire my followers and the people out there watching because you've been on a raw vegan diet and lifestyle for I think about a decade now. Is that right?
No,
Almost
12
over
years, boo.
12 years,
12
over a
years.
decade. That's amazing. And I see every day you're inspiring people. People are like super inspired by you. I see like your followers are so engaged. They're like, you changed my life. Like, like they've had all these changes in their lives following you, and being in your community and your groups and all that. I know you provide service to people like in groups, and they come to you
Yes.
every week or whatever, and you just like help them level up their life. So how about you start by saying like what inspired you to become raw vegan and to start helping people specifically, and like share about your story.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, Kuba. Yes, Kuba and I are good friends, and I'm not friends with too many raw vegans because they're crazy. But Kuba is a good friend of mine, so I appreciate him. They're just like too much, too much. But I was inspired because I was at a rock bottom and I was willing to try anything and do anything. Lucky for me, Kuba, I went vegan for the animals, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that is like the key to being vegan for life, because you've seen a lot of people go raw, go vegan, and then they go back and forth, and they're promoting Butcher Box one day, from being a raw
Yeah, I'd
vegan.
love to talk about that later on too.
Yeah, so I watched Earthlings. Earthlings is a movie that everyone needs to see in this entire world. It's by Joaquin Phoenix. It's free on YouTube. And from that moment on, I was vegan, and I actually went raw vegan because I had really bad acne, and now I don't wear any makeup on my face at all, because if I wear makeup on my face, I will break out. So I have some mascara on and some lip balm, but I do not wear foundation or concealer or powders because I will break out. And I used to wear a lot of makeup. I had very bad acne all over my face and body. I still have scars. Can you guys even, you can't see, but I still have scars on my arms,
It's
on
hard
my
to see.
legs, on my back. I still have scars from the acne. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now, and I was really depressed. And so I said, you know what? I'm going vegan for the animals, but let me go. I'm going vegan for the animals. Like, I have no choice. But let me try this raw thing because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to heal my skin. Hi, Sherry Boo. And
Hey Sherry.
I was like, let me try it. So 7 days I tried it, Kuba. And after 7 days, I was like, whoa, I feel really good. Let me try it for 30 days. And then I was like, you know what? I'm never going back. I'm never going back. Like, once you know the truth, you cannot unknow it. And once you feel the truth, you cannot unfeel it. So I never went back because I cannot go back to the way I used to be, a zombie walking around feeling tired, feeling dead, feeling cooked, feeling
hmm
dehydrated. And so, yeah, it's been 12 years now. And
So you went vegan for the animals, and you started getting health benefits by doing the raw vegan thing, and you started feeling different. Like you didn't expect that. It sounds like it's just like a bonus that happened.
Well, I was willing. Well, the truth is, it's a long story, but I went raw vegan in the same day that I went vegan. I saw Earthlings and I heard about the raw food diet, and I was like, oh my God, well, I have to be vegan
Mm.
now. So let me just try this raw thing anyway. So I went raw vegan in one day. And the thing is that I was willing to do the raw thing because I was trying to lose weight and I was trying to heal and I was trying to be healthy and I was always
Mm.
trying to get rid of my acne. So yeah, I was definitely lucky to see Earthlings and to know about the raw vegan diet. And yeah, I never looked back, and I highly recommend that everyone that's at a rock bottom, well, this is like the time. Try it. Try the raw food diet if you're at a rock bottom place, because that's where I was. And now 12 years later, I'm so grateful for that rock bottom.
What's MFV?
Misfit Vegan.
Motherfucking life. Oh,
I'm
Mrs.
I'm very important, Kuva, so I have an acronym as well. Yeah.
Mrs. Vegan, of course. So can you talk about those benefits you experienced? Because you mentioned you still have scars and stuff. You mentioned all these things, but you didn't really get into the specifics of like your transformation. So what happened? What are the benefits you experienced once you went raw vegan?
Yes. So I experienced a very big light bulb go off in my head, which is number one, I realized what is food and what is not food. Okay. So fruit and vegetables, nuts and seeds, that's the only thing that I see food as. Everything else to me now is literally like paper. It's like, I don't eat cooked food because it's like paper to me. It's not food. Okay. Food is food that I can eat that is just like available to me. I pick it, I eat it. That makes sense. So I
I know
experienced
what you mean.
that, the conviction, and then I experienced better skin. My acne went away. I stopped having major digestive issues. I was constantly constipated. Okay. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now. I had really bad bronchitis every year. I was always getting sick. And I was always having to take antibiotics as a
Mm,
kid, as a teenager, and in my 20s. So, like almost, 26 years of antibiotics every year, chronic bronchitis, migraine headaches, constantly nauseous, like having stomach problems, all these rashes, just random problems that I thought were part of being a human. It's not. It's not normal to be sick all the time. It's not normal to be depressed all the time, to be sad, to be low energy, to have skin issues. This is not normal. And you see how Cuba's skin is glowing? This is normal. Okay. Glowing skin is normal and natural for us, but we got to eat normal and natural food, which is fruit and veggies, nuts and seeds. If you can't eat it raw, I don't think it's part of the human diet. I don't believe it's made for us. Yeah, you can eat it. You can eat rice. You can eat quinoa. Sure. But was it made for you? No. No, cuz try eating it raw. You can't. So, I think I
yeah,
answered
that's
the
a big.
question.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Can you tell people how old you are? And I can say how old I am because you mentioned
I
my beautiful
yes.
glowing skin.
I am
And what age did you get
68.
into it?
Yeah, so I'm 68 now, and, I know, that's
You
gonna
look
make
you
people
look
raw.
like you're in your 50s max. Just kidding.
Cuba, somebody once actually commented that, and they said, "You're not 38." Well, if you're 38, that's terrible. You look 50, at least 50. Yep,
What?
that's a real comment. That's a real
That's
comment.
crazy.
Their screen was fucked up. Like their screen was clearly broken or something. Okay, so I am 38. I started when I was 26, 12 years raw vegan. I love so much that I've made it 12 years because for the first like 5 years, Cuba, people didn't believe me because first of all, I didn't have the results that I have now, but also people were like, "Oh yeah, well wait 6 years, wait 10 years. Wait, you'll be deficient, you'll be sick, you'll go back to meat." But now at 12 years, people are like, okay, I guess sometimes once in a while somebody will be like, "Okay, well wait a few more years. You'll get sick." Or you know what I
Wait a
mean?
few more years. Yeah,
You
I know
could
what
be
you're saying
30
because
years
some
raw.
people do that. They go for years and then they give up, or like it didn't work out for them because they probably didn't do it right, and they ended up going back to meat or something. But then other people, like me and you, seen at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, many examples, stick to it for years, and at the beginning they might get skinny or they might look like not healthy, but then they start glowing and just like glowing more and more every year, like getting more defined in their bodies, just like this radiance coming off of them more and more. I meet people who are not like big on online; they're just like living in a camper or whatever, and they've been doing this every year. I see them at the festival; they're just like more glowing, more radiant,
That is a
you know.
great point, Cuba. When I first went raw, people need to know this. I lost a lot of weight. I was very, very skinny when I first went raw. And I
Mm.
wasn't online, so we don't have any photos of that, and, like, I might be able to dig up some, like, Polaroids and stuff, but, like, there was no Instagram when I first went raw, so, I think Instagram, like, started in 2012, but, like, I didn't have it. So 2011, there was no Instagram, and so I wasn't really taking photos, but I went raw and I got really skinny because my body was rebuilding and I was detoxing all this crap that I used to eat, and so, yeah, I didn't people were worried, people were very concerned, and I got really sick. I got really sick. I had mucus so bad that I was coughing a lot. And people were like, "You're killing yourself. This is wrong. You have to eat meat. You have to eat at least complete proteins. You have to. You have to eat beans." But you know what I did, Cuba? I listened to my intuition. I listened to my gut, which said, no, this makes sense. I'm going to keep going. It makes sense that fruit and vegetables are the healthiest foods on earth. What if I just eat the healthiest foods on earth. What will happen? And I said, you know what? I'm not going back to where I was because it was a horrible life. And now I feel great, even though I'm skinny, even though people are saying, it's not working and I'm coughing and I'm sick. I'm like, this is better than where I was. This is way better than being overweight and depressed and have really bad acne and be sick all the time. So even though I was
Hmm.
sick, I knew what was happening because I was educated. I educated myself. I knew about detoxing. I knew that this was normal and natural to happen for the old stuff to get out and for you to feel sick when it's getting out.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk more about that. I don't know if we should do that now, but sometimes, like what you went through at the beginning, I feel like a lot of us try to keep going through that and try to keep detoxing kind of forever. And I think also it could be not sustainable for the long run. I think we do
Hmm.
need those periods of building and maintaining a healthy like lifestyle diet instead of like always cleansing. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah. John Kohler, or like not John Kohler, but like people that are constantly obsessed with like juice cleanses and like cleansing.
John Kohler,
And
I met him at the Canada Fruit Fest, and he is really vibrant. Like I know
not
him in
now,
person, like
not anymore.
in the
He's
year.
not even raw anymore. So
Oh,
like
before he started to cook.
yeah, I guarantee you, dude, he just did a video this morning. I just want to say he did a video this morning called The Dark Side of the Raw Food Diet and talking about how it's very dangerous to be raw and all these things. And I just want to say
Interesting. I'm
he
gonna
has a
look
lot of
into it.
followers, so he's inspiring a lot of people. But like the thing is that yes, there is a detox period where you will need to do something to get it out. So I recommend colonics because, if you're really going raw from a standard American diet, you are going to have a lot of built up toxemia that needs to get out. I recommend colonics. They really helped me. I got 4 in 4 weeks. And then what
Yeah, it
happens is
helps
people
really speed things up, I think.
what happens is people keep going. People keep trying to be cleaner, trying to get to the mucoid plaque, trying to have perfect microbiome and all these things. And the problem is that perfection doesn't exist. And what you need to do is you just need to stay consistent. And you're done having to detox when you stop feeling sick. So when you feel sick, when you're very clogged, when you have lots of mucus, when you're feeling very, 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 very tired, or you're whatever, feeling symptoms of detox, yeah, get colonics. Maybe, okay, you want to go on a juice cleanse, fine. But then once you feel better, go back to the raw food diet and don't stop. Keep going. Stay consistent with a raw food diet. And I'm telling you, this is the best way to detox. Every single day I'm cleansing because I'm eating a fruit-based diet. It's very cleansing. I don't need to go on a juice fast. I don't need to get colonics anymore. I don't need to worry about my microbiome or my blood work, which I've gotten done. I had a blood test last year. It's perfect. And yeah, we need to stop worrying about detoxing. Once you feel better, once you are healthy, you're going to that's it. That's the goal. You don't need to go further and further and further.
Hmm.
I hope
Yeah,
that
I'm
makes
actually
sense.
switching my vibe myself. I've been doing lots of detox, long cleansing, and now I'm still into like short cleanses though, like a short period, like a 3 day instead of a 3 month kind of thing. And then like nourishing and maintaining, and I'm not like crazy about cleansing nowadays, just at this time of life. I don't know if I'll ever do it or whatever, but I just feel like I feel a more sustainable approach to like have a wholesome diet and lifestyle and maintain it than trying to like keep cleansing and trying to go deeper and deeper and then just getting like
Yeah.
skinnier and skinnier myself I was. And I don't know. I just think I feel and look better now
Yeah,
by not
absolutely.
going so hard on the detox.
There's too many people in this community that are promoting juice cleanses and that are promoting detoxes and that are promoting the fasting and the cleansing, and the problem is that all of these people fall off. All of these people go back to processed foods. All of these people don't sustain a healthy vegan diet. You know why? Because they never learned how to do it. They learned how to cleanse. You know how you learn something? You
Mm,
repeat it. You put in reps. So you're putting in reps of being on a juice feast. Okay, but how do you be a healthy raw vegan? How do you eat a sustainable raw
hmm.
vegan diet? You got to practice that. Hi Sherry Boo. So MFV VOR. What's VOR?
Voice of reason.
Voice of Reason. Okay.
Yeah, so for me,
Thank you very
I
much.
like I promote for people when they do cleanse that the breaking of the cleanse after is like the most important part.
Yes.
It's so important to have a game plan after. And I have a client right now who actually is like she did a juice cleanse, but then she didn't have a game plan after, and she went back to her old diet and lifestyle, and all of her symptoms came back. So now I'm helping her to have a more like sustainable plan for the long term instead of just like cleansing
Yeah.
and then being left with nothing.
Yes.
So What are some common misconceptions about raw veganism, and how do you dispel those?
Well, I just show up online and I dispel them because everyone thinks that raw vegans are super skinny, they're super weak, they have their hair's falling out, their teeth are falling out. And then I show up and everyone's like, whoa, that doesn't make sense. How can you be so voluptuous and beautiful? And I'm like, I'm just being consistent. I'm not going on constant cleanses. I'm not lying to you guys and just pretending that I'm healthy. I'm actually living it every single day of my life for 12 years. I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you, and you can get more beautiful and healthy every day if you just do the same thing. So the myths are that you need to constantly cleanse. That's a myth. Nope. If you eat fruit and vegetables, you are constantly cleansing.
Hmm.
Another myth is that raw vegans, okay, have to be hippies. That is a myth. That is a myth. You can still shower and be a raw vegan. You can work in society. You can have a corporate job. You can be a CEO. You can have your own company. You can be thriving financially. You can live, wherever you want. If you want to live in a yurt, you can do that. But if you want to live in a condo on the beach, you can do that too. Okay, like the raw vegan diet is just how you are eating. It doesn't need to determine everything else about you. And also, one more thing, Kuba. People think that I'm obsessed with food, but this is what I do for a living. I make videos for a living. I make content for a living. I coach people for a living. So I know it looks like I'm obsessed with food, but I was actually way more obsessed with food when I was unhealthy, when I was binging, when I was eating McDonald's and stuff because I
Mm,
was always craving because I was so like hungry all the time and I was eating so much and I was always looking at recipes and things I could make on the weekend, baking, and all these things. So I used to be really obsessed with food. And now I'm just promoting a healthy vegan diet, but like a lot of my day is not around food. In fact, Kuba, for breakfast, I just ate some watermelon and I didn't have to prepare it. I didn't have to think about it. I have to have a recipe on it. I didn't have to it's so simple and easy and quick. I ate the watermelon while I was working, so like I'm way less obsessed with food now. And that's a myth about the raw vegan lifestyle. There are many more.
yeah,
That's a great question.
definitely. Yeah, yeah, I find that also like with us, what we're doing, helping people and trying to inspire people, we're really involved with our purpose, and we're so focused on it that we're not thinking about food all the time. Food is just there,
Right.
you know. But yeah,
Right.
before too, in the past, I would be obsessed with food. I would overeat, and I would want to eat all these different kinds of foods, or go to parties where there's like all this food, and I would think it's like a glorious thing to stuff myself and feel like crap, you know.
Can we say one more myth? Thank you,
Yes,
Sherry. Oh my God, Sherry said, "What's
Sherry.
another myth?" Yeah, thank you. There are so many, Kuba. One more myth that I really want to dispel is that it's very, very complicated, and it is not. Okay, a lot of the raw vegans out there, and I'm not going to name any more names because John Kohler hates me, but I don't want anybody else to hate me. So there are people out there that act like and are convinced that the raw vegan diet requires, microbiome tests and constant blood tests and paying attention to micro and macronutrients and like all of these scientifically based studies. And, we have to worry about our protein. We have to worry about this vitamin B12. We have to worry about the D3. No, no. I'm telling you right now, the raw vegan diet is the most simple, easy diet on earth. And yes, there's a learning curve. Okay, that's why people like me and Kuba coach people. There is a learning curve. You have to learn how to do it. Okay, you got to learn how to pick out your fruit. You've got to get the right equipment. You've got to know how to make these amazing smoothies, amazing nice cream. Yeah, there's a learning curve, but it's not complicated. It's very simple. All you have to do is put fruit and vegetables into your body, and that takes care of all the vitamins and minerals that you need. You don't need to take a blood test every 6 months. You don't need to get a
Okay.
microbiome test. You don't need to be obsessed with being healthy when you're just eating healthy foods. Nature takes care of everything. What is your view on
So,
this, Kuba?
so what do you tell people? My view is very similar. But what do you tell people, critics who are like, yeah, but fruits and vegetables don't give you all the necessary vitamins and minerals and nutrients that we need,
Those critics don't look as good as me. That's what I say. Look at the
especially for
person
the
you want to
long
look
term,
like.
they say.
Find me a critic that's 12 years raw vegan, looks like me, 38 years old, and show me them. Show me what they're doing for a living, how they look, what they feel like. No, sorry, but
Mhm.
I'm a practitioner. I am not a theorist. I have practiced eating a raw vegan diet, so I can tell you the truth, and the truth is this works. This is not complicated, and you don't need to worry about all anything. What you need to do is if you're concerned, okay, get a blood test. Get a blood test every 5 years, not more than 5 years, because what happens is, and
Interesting.
Mr. Kohler proved this theory that I had. John Kohler, he got a blood test every few months for the last 28 years. Why do you think he's deficient? That's why he's deficient, because he kept getting blood tests. We're not supposed to take our blood out of our body that causes deficiencies. I've had that theory for a long time. And now that I interviewed John Kohler and he told me, now I know it's true. Okay. Now he's doing it with the microbiome test and he's like focused on like the numbers. And it's like, well, what does that matter? How do you feel?
Interesting.
He he said he felt great eating raw. Why did he start eating cooked food? Because the numbers, the blood test numbers, they didn't look good to him. But it's like if you feel great,
Mm.
why worry about the numbers? The numbers are comparing numbers to a standard American. The numbers don't tell us the full scope of how you feel and what kind of health you're in. Sherry had a good question for you, Kuba. Do you think it's possible to follow sorry, I didn't realize Sherry had so many questions.
How do you see those after?
You
Oh,
scroll on the screen.
they all just
Is it
popped up at once.
possible to follow a natural hygiene diet in modern times, Kuba? What would you say to that?
Now I can't get rid of the comments. They're all over your face.
They'll leave.
Okay. Is it possible to follow natural hygiene in modern times, meaning like 100% raw natural foods,
I guess that's her
like
question.
everything
Yes.
natural?
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Jeanette's doing it. It's possible.
It's
So
possible.
yeah, that's the answer. It's possible. Is it easy? It's not always easy because no one else is doing it. So it's pretty tricky. It could be simple, but it's tricky because no one else is doing it. So it's quite isolating. In my journey, been an isolating journey, and I think I have a different personality than Misfit Vegan, where
Yes.
I'm actually like affected by like other people. I care about what they
Yes.
think and stuff. I'm getting over that more and more, but Misfit Vegan was just like having a fruit party every day wherever she goes. She doesn't care who's around. She doesn't it doesn't affect her, you know? Me, I'm
Not
like
at
trying to
all.
connect with people. I'm trying to have that pizza to connect with them, even though it's not optimal, you know, it's not healthy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
People
So
like Kuba. Yeah. Okay, go on.
no, I just wanted to say like for me it's hard to be 100% pure. The only time it's easy is when I'm at the fruit festival. Then I don't think about cooked food. I don't have temptations. Like nothing. I'm just on raw fruits, some salads, sugarcane juice, loving people who are all into the same lifestyle, and I don't think about anything else. And I'm feeling so good and I'm thriving. And sometimes when I try to do it in modern society, I don't actually feel so good because I'm not present with the people. I'm thinking about food. I'm thinking about like when can I leave this event to go home to eat my food. So that's why I switched my approach personally, and I'm like, I'll have the cooked food, I'll do the stuff socially, and go back to my own thing at home. But when I tried to be 100% in modern society, for me, it was really difficult and tricky. And I think emotionally, it wasn't good for me.
Yeah, so I'll read
Oh,
Sherry's
our
comment.
soil, that's a whole
Sherry
nother level. Yeah.
says, Sherry says, I meant natural hygiene in the sense that our soil isn't as healthy or nutrient dense. Pollution is greater now than when followed by, back in the day, followed nature
Hmm.
back in the day, etc. Well, this is more myths that we're debunking because this is more fear mongering that people do in order to sell products, Sherry. Okay. I believe that the soil is probably not as healthy, but we don't need to worry about that because remember what Arnold Ehret said life is a tragedy of nutrition, and it's what you don't eat that heals you. And we don't need to worry about nutrients. We don't need to worry about that stuff. What we need to do is eliminate the crap. And sure, I'm sure mangoes were better a million years ago. Okay, but we're here now. And we don't need to worry about supplementation unless we are deficient. And we don't need to worry about the soil because, again, it's what you don't eat that heals you. The body is self regenerating and self healing, and it doesn't need as much nutrients as we think. Too much of something is not good, it's too much. So that's another myth. That's another myth. And I don't, sorry, I don't subscribe to that that the soil's
Interesting.
ruined and we need to supplement. No.
I've never researched it deep, but to my mind, it did make sense that the soil could be deficient in certain areas. Like, like if you look at different soils, they don't like one full of humus and organic matter. It just looks more rich than like something dried up, and there's still things growing out of the dried up. But I don't know, the trees dig deep into the earth. But besides that, I think a big thing is like fruit gets picked unripe and gets shipped to modern societies. And I think it's hard to be like reliant on fruit. So I think it's important to supplement with greens, like maybe not supplements, but like actually
Yeah.
use other plants. I think it's important for most people because unless you're living in
Well, I do
Florida, which
greens
is
too.
great.
I do greens. I do greens. I have greens.
I think like it depends where you live too. Like if you're living in the tropics, it's so much easier to do natural hygiene 100% and to get all the fruits, get most of your nutrition from the fruits. But I think vegetables and herbs are important when you're like north or in other climates.
I
That's
was raw
just my
vegan
thought.
for 9 years in New York City. I've never had my own fruit farm. I don't think I've ever had I probably have like 99% 99% of the fruit that I've eaten in the last 12 years has been picked too soon and store ripened, okay? 99%. And
Interesting.
1% I'm from New York. There's no farms
Hmm.
there. And 1% in the last 3 years is like freshly picked fruit. But I mostly because I don't have a car, I go to Costco. I mostly buy from Whole
Hmm.
Foods. So, like, people telling me that it's like, "Oh, better for the reason why I'm thriving is because 'cause I'm in the tropics." No, I go to Costco. And no, for
Yeah, you're
9
right
years I was in
because
New
I
York.
was in Miami and I went to grocery stores and I'm like, this is the same old shit in Toronto. Like, there's nothing
Yeah,
different. Unless you drive out to the farms, you're getting the same stuff that you get in New York
exactly.
City or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay,
The
good
the
point.
thing is, wherever you go, there you are. So it's not gonna be easier in the tropics. It's gonna be easier when you change your mind and you decide,
Mm,
"I'm raising my standards starting today, and I'm going to eat a healthy vegan diet no matter what." And I wanted to say something real quick, Kuba, about influencing people versus people influencing you. So I don't know who talked about this. I think it was Jim Rohn, but he talks about there's 2 types of people in the world. One person is walking 2 people are walking. One person is gonna set the pace. If somebody walks faster, the other person is going to walk faster. If somebody walks slower, if that person walks slower, the other person's going to walk slower. In life, you have to decide whose pace are you following, your pace or somebody else's. There's always going to be that person who's going to try to, people still try to get me to eat things that I don't eat. But now I don't even take it personal and it doesn't matter to me because I know that I'm going to inspire every single person around me to eat fruit and vegetables. And every person that comes to my house gets fruit, gets smoothies, gets salads. Every person becomes healthier when they know me because I'm the person that's setting the pace in my life. And that's what everybody
hmm.
needs to understand. You set the pace or somebody else sets the pace. And Sherry said, "You
Yeah, I
guys can
love it.
pick off the trees here when you visit." Oh,
Yes, we
thank
will.
you, Sherry. I've
Out
never
in
done
the
that.
west,
I've never done that.
pick fruit off trees.
I've never picked a fruit off a tree ever.
Oh, I've done it when I was hanging out with Miami Fruit. I was picking lots of fruits. Like the pickers, I,
Yes.
I was the one climbing trees because I'm like monkey butt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why you're such a transformational leader, inspiring people because you set the pace, and people who want to come on your pace and eat the raw living foods and be healthy, they come and walk with you until they can do it on their own. So I think I'm more like I still like affected by other people's pace, but I also set my pace. So I'm like I'm inspiring everyone, but I'm letting them influence me to be a little less healthy, if that makes sense.
Well,
So we're kind of
you're
meeting in the middle in a way.
Well, you're a people person, and there's value in that too. You see, because you have better relationships than me. I don't really have good relationships because I'm not a people person. I'm the person that's like independent. I'm doing what I'm doing. And if you want to follow, then great. If you don't, then bye. Like I'm just like, sorry, can't be friends with you if you're eating dead animal body parts. Sorry. And you're the
Sorry.
person who's just like you recognize, love is part of this journey, connecting with people. You're like my best friend Awa, like you're a people person and that's valuable too and we need that. Everybody's themselves, Everybody needs to be themselves,
Mhm.
but also don't hurt yourself in the meantime. Like Sherry's another person. She's really nice, but like don't let other people inspire you to eat things you don't want to eat while you're trying to be nice to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like you
exactly.
you
I,
don't
I
hurt
did
yourself.
develop like a limit, like a non-negotiable, like
Yes.
there's certain things I won't eat, like
Yes.
dead animal parts. No, no. But what do you, how do you approach working with clients who are transitioning? to a raw diet, but maybe are unsure where to start or are a little bit like have concerns about the transition process?
Yes. So I run a 6 week food addiction freedom course. The next one is May 28th. If anybody's interested, you can send me an email, jd@misfitvegan.com, and I'll send you the application. And so, what I do with my clients is I help them to understand there is a difference between raw and healthy. We have to start with we want to eat 100% healthy. We don't want to focus on raw in the beginning. If you want to be raw vegan, that's
Mm,
great. Try it. If it doesn't work, if you can't do it, well, guess what? Let's backtrack and go to 100% healthy. There is never a reason ever to eat anything unhealthy because in that 100% healthy category is all fruits, all vegetables, nuts and seeds, and rice, quinoa, beans, grains, potatoes, squash. All these things are very healthy. Chickpeas, seaweed, all these things. These are great and these are very healthy compared to eating a processed foods diet. If you're coming from a standard American diet or you're eating processed foods, you're eating chips and ice cream and animal body parts, well, we got to get to 100% healthy. And then once we get from 100 to 100% healthy, then we can go to raw if you want to go to raw. But most people are not going to be able to go straight from eating crap to 100% raw. They're going to fail and they're going to think they're a failure. And then they're going to internalize that and then just act like a failure and eat crap for the rest of their lives. So that's what I do with my clients. I help them understand the difference between raw and healthy. Because, by the way, I was a very unhealthy raw vegan, Cuba, for 6 years. I was eating lots of dates with almond butter and cacao nibs. And that was like, I had like 20 of those, and that was a meal. I used to dip chocolate into cashew butter, and that was a meal. That was a 100% raw vegan meal. Raw cacao in
it
raw
sounds
cashew
bomb.
butter.
Sounds bomb.
It's
I'm sure
disgusting.
people be like,
No, it
"Oh,
is
that's probably
bomb.
so good."
It's a terrible idea because guess what? I fucked up my teeth eating lots of dates. I was not feeling good. I had bad digestion. I was always bloated. I wasn't
You're
healthy.
mixing the fats with the sugars.
I wasn't
You
healthy.
had a lot higher fat,
I wasn't
so you're
healthy.
probably bogged down.
I was
Probably feeling bogged
very
down.
unhealthy. And so I was 100% raw though. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, but I wasn't healthy because if I had just eaten some chickpeas or some sweet potatoes in a salad, yeah, that would have been way, way better. That would have been a way
Mm.
healthier idea than cacao and cashew butter. Just dipping it in,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Just to stay raw. Yeah, yeah.
just to say raw. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that advice. So speaking of food, what's something you would advise people getting into the lifestyle? Like what are go-tos for you in terms of food and recipes?
Yeah.
And what someone starting what should they focus on?
Well, if they want to be healthy or they want to be raw, Cuba.
If they want to be healthy but focusing on the raw, getting more raw
Yes.
into their life.
Good question. I would focus on mono meals. There's a lot of conflicting information out there that you need a wide variety of food at every meal. And this is absolutely not true. It's not true. And I actually challenged someone this morning, Kuba, on YouTube to pay for my microbiome test because John Kohler, he got an 80 on his microbiome test. And he's like, anybody who gets 100, contact me. I want to know what you're doing. And if I get 100 on the test, I want to contact him and let him know what I'm doing is mono meals, boo. So I would
Mm,
recommend mono meals. This is something that is so under um, talked about on the raw food diet. It is so valuable because mono meals absolutely help you to know when you're full. They're super simple. Anybody can do them. You just grab some grapes and you eat grapes. That's your breakfast. Okay. But you got to have enough. You got to have enough. So if you can't afford enough grapes, then buy a big melon. Doesn't have to be organic.
mm,
Melons are very cheap. That's a meal. Mangoes. Okay, you can't get mangoes, get apples and eat apples until you're full. The first time I saw somebody do this was 2012. I saw somebody eat like 7 apples and I literally thought he was insane. Like I thought he was a serial killer because it was so weird to see somebody like just eating apples. I just it was so weird to me. And I was talking to him and I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm eating. I'm eating." What do you mean? This is how every species on earth eats except humans. Every species
mhm.
on earth, by the way, is outside in nature all day and eats one thing at a time.
Yes, that's true.
So please check out mono meals. They are so valuable. I have at least one every single day. And another thing is start with breakfast. Just start with breakfast and start simple. Oranges for breakfast, or a pineapple for breakfast, or some watermelon. You're going to feel so much better. You're going to look better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more time. It's not complicated. You don't have to dehydrate it for 20 years with 100 ingredients, okay? And you're going to love it. It's so simple and easy. So that's where I'd start.
Okay, I agree. I really agree. And yeah, monomeal. A great one I had today was cherimoya. It's just amazing. And when you eat a really good fruit, that's my advice to your advice, is have ripe, delicious fruit. Because when you have it ripe and delicious, you'll just naturally want to keep eating it. And then
Yes.
your body knows when it's satisfied. That's the beauty of the monomeal.
Sherry wants
So,
us to say what we eat in a day, Kuba.
okay, what do you eat in a day?
Okay, so what and she wants it to be a short. So let me set it up for the short. Okay, so what I eat in a day as a 12-year raw vegan is I start my day with juice. I always start with juice. I like to do at least 32 ounces of juice or water or coconut water if I'm lucky. And then I have a mono meal of a melon or grapes or oranges or mangoes or whatever fruit is in season and ripe. For lunch, I usually have a smoothie or an ice cream or another mono meal of fruit. And then for dinner, I always have fruit while I'm making dinner. So some grapes or some oranges or some whatever I have, right? Apples or whatever. And then while I'm making dinner, that's what I'll have. And for dinner, I have a big, big salad. And right now, Kuba, I'm having an amazing dressing that I love so much. It's so simple. Do you want to hear it?
Yes,
Is the
I do want to
real
hear it.
is the minute over? I don't know if we can stretch this into a minute and a half, but okay. Um I have a
For
dressing.
Instagram, yes.
It's literally okay, the dressing is this. You make your salad, and I usually do, like, tomatoes, zucchini noodles, I like mushrooms in my salad right now, green onions, I like peppers, okay, lots of stuff. Then you put in mustard, so a clean, healthy mustard, you squeeze in some mustard, you throw in some dulse flakes, smoked paprika, red pepper flakes, lime juice, like, at least 1 or 2 limes, and then secret ingredients, maple syrup. Just a little bit, just a tablespoon. Put it in, mix it up. This is such a good, healthy, delicious salad. It's fat free for those of you guys obsessed with fat. Nobody wants to eat fat. And it's so simple. You don't need to do a blender. It's so easy. It's just in the salad. No dishes to worry about besides the bowl. And it's
Hmm.
so good. You got to try it. It's salty, it's sweet, it's savory, it's everything.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out this short on replay so I can make it because I love dressings that you blend up and stuff, but I hardly do it because you gotta blend it and stuff. Like I like
So,
to
what do
just
you
throw
do for
stuff in a bowl.
dressing?
So I just throw stuff in a bowl. So I'll just throw spices, maybe some olive oil. Today I had a salad. I forgot to put the olive oil, but I put spices and wakame as instead of salt, like seaweed. And sometimes I
Yeah.
put nutritional yeast. I forgot about that today too, but I was fine. So what I eat in a day as a 9-year high raw vegan.
Oh,
Um, so I will start my day with juice every day with juice, usually a green juice, about 32 ounces at least or more. But I'll have a nice green juice with celery, cucumber, and greens, whatever greens, parsley, spinach, anything, cilantro, Swiss chard even. And I just love these green juices to start the day. And then I might have another juice, orange juice, because I'm in Mallorca. There's so many oranges. And that's usually my breakfast is juicy, liquidy. And then for lunch, I'll have a big fruit meal. So it might be a mono meal of my favorite fruit. But lately, I've been really into salad bowls, which are actually a mix of fine cut up fruits of kiwis, bananas, and some orange, pineapple, and pears. And now nispero because it's in season here in Mallorca. It's a very
I
original
love
fruit.
nispero.
So
I
I
love it.
know it's like we're talking about food combining and stuff, but I've been loving these fruit bowls lately and just like so satisfying. And then in the evening, I have different things, but my go-to as a high raw vegan is a big salad with greens and chickpeas. Chickpeas is like the main cooked thing that I have from a glass jar. So I'm not actually cooking it, I'm just pouring it in. And then tomatoes and spice it up and put some avocado. Just put like whatever spices, greens, oregano, and then wakame as the seaweed to have it salty, pepper, maybe some paprika or hot pepper or whatever I want, maybe
Yes.
some olive oil, maybe some nooch. And
I
just eat it.
forgot I like to put jalapeno in my salad too. That really like this you
Yeah, I
need it
like
to
to
be
have a little spice.
spicy, salty, and sweet. So you get the spicy from the peppers, jalapeno or cayenne. The salty is from the dulse or the nori or wakame, which I've never tried. And sweet is always either, I'm doing maple syrup right now, but you can do date syrup or you can just put in some dates. Or what's another sweet thing that people can do?
That's vegan.
Yeah, this is a vegan interview, I
I
thought,
know, I'm
right?
just kidding. Yes,
Oh,
maple, because you said maple syrup.
you can do
Did you say
coconut
agave?
nectar. No, I don't do agave, but coconut nectar if you want.
Okay. Yeah, and dates.
Dates, you can cut up dates, you can do raisins in there, or you can make your date paste or date syrup, which is just dates and water. But I like maple syrup. It's just a little bit, so I'm okay with it.
So I'm big on not mixing my sugars with my fats just because of how I feel. So when I
Oh,
have my evening salad meal, I usually don't put any sweet because I feel
yes.
avocado is more fatty. So I don't want to put
Yes.
any sweet in it usually. But if you made me one, I would eat it. I wouldn't mind. Like I'm not that strict.
Well, I
Just
don't
feel
use
better.
avocado. I don't mix the fats or
Yeah, yeah,
sweets either.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So you focus on having that savory sweet um, taste in your salad, but you don't have a high fat. So I think that's a
correct.
good balance. Okay,
Yes.
so I know we need to end this real soon. I just want to ask you, how do you balance a raw vegan lifestyle with your work and modern life and everything?
Well, if you say it's going to be hard, then it's going to be hard. If you say it's easy, then it gets easier. And for 9 years in New York City, I was the head of a company. I had 500 employees. I was very, very busy. I was running around the city and I was raw vegan. So I don't want to hear that somebody can't do it. It doesn't make sense and it's not true. You can do it. And so the way I balance it is yeah, like I said, mono meals. Super easy, super simple. There's nothing easier than grabbing some grapes and running out the door. Grab a bag of grapes and run out the door. There's your breakfast. There's nothing easier than making a 1-minute smoothie. You throw bananas and strawberries and hemp seeds and water in a blender. You blend it up, you pour it in a bottle, and you grab it and you go. It's 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
To
I
me,
forgot to say
Cuba,
in my what did I eat in a day throughout, like in between stuff, I just have smoothies, because it's so
yes,
simple and fast, and you can work and drink your smoothie too.
to me, it's so much more complicated and harder and time consuming to eat cooked food. I don't know how
I
people
agree.
actually, I do know because I live with my roommate. So my roommate is now a healthy vegan and she's cooking all the time. She makes omelets for breakfast, she makes healthy vegan dinners like vegan chickpea pastas and like she makes all this stuff and she's always cooking. She's always doing dishes, she's always in the kitchen. She's like sweating. She has to sit down cuz it's taking so long. And I'm just like, and the oven's hot as hell and I'm just like it's so much easier to be raw. Like I'm so grateful I'm raw. Now, making juice is the only
Even though
thing
you're
that's
always blending and juicing and,
I'm not always blending,
but
but let
I
me
know, I
finish.
know.
Juice. That's the
Hmm.
thing that like makes it complicated and like time consuming for me. But I love juice so much just like you. We're very passionate about juice. That it's worth it to me and also like I always put my headphones on. I'm always learning, watching, listening to YouTube videos, listening to audiobooks when I'm juicing. But like if I didn't juice, easiest thing on earth. Easiest diet, like literally the fastest way to eat is to eat raw vegan, but juicing is the problem. Juicing takes the time. But I
Yeah,
love it. It's worth it.
I agree. Same vibe. So where can people find you? Where do you want them to go? What do you have that they can get from you?
Yes. Well, Sherry, thank you very much, Kuba, for having me. Sherry asked a question. What passion projects are you working on? What is the
Do you
life
have time
legacy?
for this?
I don't know. What time is it?
2 minutes to 10 in Europe.
Oh, 2 minutes? Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. We can go a little longer. I'll be late for something, that's fine. So wait, so what passion projects are you guys working on? What is your life legacy you guys plan to leave if you wanna answer? Yes, okay, so thank you, Sherry Boo. My life legacy is that I'm going to open up the world's first fast fruit restaurant. It's gonna be called Fruit is Life, and it's gonna be here in Miami, the first location, and it's gonna be all fruit fast fruit, okay? And it's gonna have a drive-through, and people can drive through and get beautiful, beautiful fruit salads, smoothies, juices, mamey sapotes, seeded watermelon, all the exotic tropical fruit you want. We'll have durian there too. It's gonna be amazing, and so I'm really excited for that. And my legacy is to inspire people to eat fruit instead of dead animal body parts. And I'm working on that every day. I'd like to inspire 1 billion people. Kuba, what is your life legacy?
Wicked.
Try to beat that one. No, just kidding. Just
So for
kidding.
me, it's to become the greatest version of myself, so that everyone around me is inspired to become their greatest version.
Me too. Me too.
And and part of that,
Mm.
I'm back. I've been doing a dopamine reset this week, and I have limits on my apps, and it was asking me your limit for YouTube expired. Do you want to? I said ignore. But yeah, so part of that is by living a healthy, vibrant lifestyle with not just diet, but also getting in shape, which I'm working on myself right now. And I
Okay.
see myself getting in super good shape. So that people are like, "How do you do it?" I'm getting more and more comments now that I found a more sustainable approach to my lifestyle instead of just detoxing. So that's my biggest purpose, is just to inspire people by living an example of like a radiating, glowing being. And then I'm gonna build my like cottage house in northern Canada where I grew up, and just a place where my family can come and just be in nature. Because besides food and besides movement, exercise, being in nature, being barefoot on the earth, jumping in the lake is just like, it raises your vibration so much. It connects you with nature, it raises your intuition. So having my family being able to go there, and then having a retreat center either there or close by, or maybe in different parts of the world, where people can come and heal and maybe get on some juicing, get on raw foods, and learn to do the lifestyle healthy and be in nature and be surrounded by people. So kind of like a fruit festival vibe, but like smaller and more, like closer relationships
Maybe I'll
building.
work at your retreat center one day. I never knew
Yes, and
you're going to do
Jeanette,
that.
I mean, Ms.FitVegan's cafe will come, hosts the food and some workshops, and yeah.
Yes. And so what I'm working on now is that I am coaching women specifically who have a food addiction, who believe they had a food addiction and they cannot, they know what to do. They know about the raw food diet. They know about the healthy vegan diet, but they can't do it. They can't stick to it. So that's what I'm specializing in. And I'm running my course right now with 10 amazing, beautiful women. And the next one is in May. So like I said, if you want to contact me, my email, I'll leave it below, or Kuba will leave it below. And yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. And of course, just trying my best to inspire everyone and anyone that wants help. I'm trying to help people only that want help, which is really nice because I used to try to inspire everyone and they didn't
Mm.
want help and that didn't work so well. And so, yes, thank you very much for
Food
asking that,
addiction
Sherry
freedom
and
course.
Kuba. Yes.
Yeah, I really like how you said people who have food addiction, or then you corrected yourself, people who believe they have food addiction. So I'm guessing you're big on mindset and helping people basically change their mindset to know that the food addiction is just in their mind. It's not like a real thing, and you can conquer it by changing your mindset.
Yes. I've
So
studied
learn more
mindset.
with Misfit
Yes.
Vegan's course for
I've
sure.
studied mindset for a long time now, and it's been the biggest secret to my success on a raw vegan diet. And I just wanted to say real quick, one client of mine this morning, she said, "I can't believe it feels like I got a health coach, a fitness coach, and a life coach all in one during this course." So I'm really happy for that. Like that,
Amazing.
she said that, and it's true. You're gonna get everything. We're gonna work out together. You're going to change your mind. You're gonna change the way you see yourself. You're gonna change the way you see food. It's an all-in-one, all-encompassing. You're also going to learn how to, if you want to start a YouTube and a podcast and want to work for yourself, you're going to learn how to do that. I do everything in this course. So I really, really, I really
Wow.
love it. I'm
You
very
really
proud of it.
empower your students, your clients.
Yes, I'm very proud of
Amazing.
it. So yes, thank you so much, Kuba and
Cool. Thank you
Sherry.
so much for being here. This is a really cool live. Thank you, Jerry, for engaging with us. That's so awesome. And if you have one more thing you could share with people to inspire them, or maybe to take like a first step in a new direction, if like they're looking to change their life, get healthy, have more raw foods.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to inspire everyone to start visualizing themselves the way they want to be. I would like everyone to start with 1 minute a day. Just set a timer on your phone to visualize for 1 minute a day what you want. What do you want to look like? How do you want to feel? What kind of money do you want to be making? What do you want to do every day for a living? What do you want to be experiencing in this lifetime? Because everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. And if you don't know what you want and you can't see it here, you can't see it out here. You gotta see it here first. Me, I always saw myself as I saw myself living in the tropics. I saw myself I was gonna be beautiful one day and have the body I wanted and have long hair. And I was gonna work for myself. I saw it. I saw it, and everybody thought I was crazy. And I also saw myself being a raw vegan. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fucking do this because
Mm,
everybody tells me I can't. Everybody says there's no way. But I made a way out of no way. So visualization is key. Set a 1 minute timer. Just sit down with yourself, take a deep breath, and visualize what do you want. And that's part of the law of attraction. And when you start to get very clear on what you want, you're going to start to take different actions. If it's not important to you, you're not going to take actions on it. And so, if you're struggling with being raw or being healthy, well, maybe you haven't figured out exactly why. Exactly why is it important to me? Because if it's important, you'll do it. And that's it.
mm. I agree with that so much. The visualization, like it's so important. Like we control our destiny, so we decide how we want our lives to look. Yeah, there's things that we can't control, but there's so much we can. And if people just realize that. And one key to visualization is like that moment that you realize what you're visualizing is actually happening. Like it's real. It's not like, oh, then you're trying to figure out how is it going to happen. That's doubt. So when you realize it's happening,
Yeah.
that's when the doubt leaves. And that's when you get so excited and you feel that whatever you vision, you already feel it now. And when you feel it now, that's when it becomes real. And
So true,
it makes
Kuba. Kuba has
it's
taught me
just
a
really
lot
amazing.
over the years. And that is so true. That is so, so true. Because let me just tell you real quick, and I gotta go. I was on the highway the other day learning how to drive with my driving coach. And I got so excited because this vision that I had, I want to run my company by myself. I don't want to hire drivers anymore. I don't want to have any business partners anymore. I want to just run my fruit company by myself and be able to do it, with an assistant. But like, I have to drive, right? Like to have freedom. Just forget about my company, just to have freedom. I need to drive. And so I was on the highway driving and I was like, oh my God, this is just like my visions. I had a vision like this that I was going to be behind the wheel driving. And it made me so excited because it's real, it's coming true. And you're right. We got to get rid of the doubt. We got to get rid of the doubt. So,
Mm,
the thing is, Kuba, you got to take actions. If you're not taking actions, like if I didn't schedule and pay for those driving lessons, I would have never seen my vision come to life. You gotta buy the fruit and vegetables. You gotta get on the treadmill, Sherry. You gotta take the actions and then you will start to believe it. The action comes before the belief every single time. Even in the dictionary, action comes before the belief. Oh, that's my new quote. Yeah.
mm.
Don't steal that
Yeah,
now,
and
Sherry.
if you don't mind me sharing like a short
Yep.
thing about your personal life.
Uh, what are you
No,
gonna
but like
share?
about your driving, like because I know your whole journey.
Kuba knows too much about me. We talk
I know your
like
whole journey of driving, and I just
a
think it's
lot.
amazing how you're like so inspired and excited by driving. Because I just want to share. I'm sorry if you don't like this, but once upon a time you were scared of driving. You were
Yeah.
like scared to hit the road. You were like, so I just think it's a great testament to being like you stuck to your vision, knew there was these steps required. You were scared, but you did it anyway, son. You just went and did it. You were like, nah, I don't know, like driving, I'm scared, all this. And then you're like, one driving appointment, next driving appointment. Next thing you know, you're like super stoked and inspired and riding on the highway, like excited about your vision
Yeah.
coming to
Well, the
life.
truth is, Kuba, that your friendship has been a big part of that because you guys have to understand that Kuba is one of my accountability partners, and without my accountability group that I have, which is Kuba and another friend, without this core, I would have never signed up for driving lessons because
Mm,
that was one of my tasks during our accountability calls. That week, I had to sign up for a driving class and I didn't want to do it. And I was deathly afraid. Kuba, I don't mind you sharing. I didn't know what you were going to share. But basically, I was deathly afraid because Kuba, my mom didn't drive, my grandma didn't drive, and my great grandma didn't drive. And who knows
mm,
who else in my ancestry didn't drive? You understand? I'm breaking a lineage of women in my family that never drove, and I was terrified. So yeah, I was shaking before I drove for the first time. I was crying. I was so scared, but I had to do it anyway. And that's the only way because everything you want is on the other side of your fear. Everything you want. And Will Smith said it. He said everything that's amazing in life is on the other side of fear. You gotta do
mm,
it. So if you're afraid to be raw because you're afraid what your family's gonna think, you gotta do it. You gotta face that fear. And yeah, your family's gonna think that you're a weirdo. You are a weirdo. In this society, it's weird to be healthy. It's weird to not be on medication. It's weird to not be overweight and be having sick like health issues. That's weird. That's like what? What? You haven't been sick in 12 years? What? Are you
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
robot? Yeah, so anyway,
yeah, yeah.
that's
So
it.
to summarize, for your vision to come to fruition as a healthy raw vegan or whatever it is you want to be, you have to visualize it, be excited about it, feel it now, so you
Mhm.
don't doubt it. You know it's happening for sure, and
Yes.
then you have to take the steps.
Yes.
And taking those steps, you have to do things that you fear anyways, even if you're scared. And the best way to do that is to have accountability by partnering with someone or a community so
Yeah.
that they're pushing you to take those steps. And next thing you know, your vision is fulfilled and you're living a completely new life.
I wouldn't be where I am without my accountability group, which we've been doing for like 6 years, Kuba, right?
Something like that. Since
I wouldn't be I
2019,
wouldn't be running this course, I wouldn't have all these books, I wouldn't be living in Miami, I wouldn't be
4
driving,
years.
yeah. Well, I've been doing it
Well,
longer.
you started
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah, yeah.
started 6 years ago or 7 years ago, but, because Darren Hardy does it, and he inspired me,
Yeah,
and I
that's
was
where I
like,
first heard it from, and I was like, that's genius. And
yeah.
he's just like, he's a millionaire, he's very successful, and he still every Friday meets his accountability partner and they set their next goals. So,
And listen, if you don't have an accountability partner, reach out to me or Kuba. We can help you. We can help be your accountability partners. Okay. And with me, at the end of the course, the food addiction freedom course that I run every month, at the end, you get an accountability partner for life. And you
yeah,
meet
super
them once
cool.
a week. And then you meet with me. So I make sure you're doing it right. And then you thrive because you get accountable. That's the fourth step. And that's a crucial step to Kuba just said the visualization. That's crucial, getting accountable.
Hmm.
So, Kuba, let's do this again. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is really fun. I see you're late for like meeting Darren Hardy or someone important, and you're still here with me. So I
Very
thank you
late.
so much.
Yes.
Enjoy your meeting and look forward to the next one. Thank you for coming on here and inspiring my people. And thank you, Sherry, and thank you everyone watching the replay. And see you guys soon.
Thank you very much,
Much
Kuba.
love.
Bye.
Bye. I'll link all your stuff below to follow Ms.FitVegan and
Thank
find
you.
her course
Bye,
and her
boo.
stuff. Bye bye.